Have you ever left a doctor's appointment feeling like you forgot to ask something important? You rehearsed it in your head, told yourself not to forget, and then, somehow, the moment slipped past. You nod, smile, and leave with a stack of papers, but not the clarity or peace of mind you were hoping for. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Especially after 70, your health journey isn't just about tests and checkups, it's about conversations. Real, honest, personal conversations with your doctor that can shape how you feel today and how well you live tomorrow. The truth is, once you reach your 70s, your body doesn't just age, it shifts. And while some things change gently, others can sneak up fast. The trick is not to wait for something to go wrong, but to ask the right questions before it does. Let's talk about the first conversation you absolutely deserve to have: your medications. Not just what you're taking, but why. Many people over 70 find themselves on a growing list of pills, blood, pressure tablets, cholesterol meds, something for sleep, maybe a few over-the-counter supplements. And every year that list gets longer. But here's the thing most doctors won't bring up unless you do. Sometimes less is better. Your body processes medicine differently as you age. What worked well at 50 might suddenly cause fatigue, dizziness, or confusion at 75. And some combinations, even if prescribed, can work against each other quietly over time. This isn't about blaming doctors. They often add one medication at a time, not always knowing what others have prescribed. But you have the full picture and the power to ask, do I still need all of these? One conversation, one review, can prevent dangerous side effects, save money, and maybe even give you more energy. So bring your full list with you. Ask about alternatives. And don't be afraid to question if something can be reduced, adjusted, or stopped. You're not being difficult, you're being smart. Now, let's talk about another conversation that often gets swept under the rug: your mobility and fall risk. We don't always like to admit it, but stairs start to feel steeper. The floor seems a bit farther away, and rugs that never moved before suddenly seem to slide. But here's the truth. Falls are one of the leading reasons older adults lose independence. Not illness, not age itself. Just one fall, and everything changes. The good news? Many falls can be prevented, but your doctor needs to know how you're really moving through your day. Are you holding on to furniture more? Have you had a near miss recently but brushed it off? This is the time to say it out loud. Your doctor can help you get ahead of it, checking balance, strength, or even recommending a physical therapist who specializes in aging movement. You're not weak for bringing it up. You're wise, because strength isn't about never needing help. It's about knowing when to ask for it. And fall prevention isn't just about safety, it's about freedom. Freedom to walk confidently, garden without worry, and get out of the house without fear. These conversations may not be easy, but they can change everything. They give you back control, clarity, and confidence. So once you've talked with your doctor about medications and mobility, there's another area most people overlook completely, and that's memory. Now, I know, just the word memory can bring a little lump to the throat. Maybe you've walked into a room and forgotten why. Maybe names take longer to come back. Or maybe you've noticed your spouse repeating the same story again and again. These things happen, and they don't always mean something's wrong. But here's the key. Don't wait until you or your loved ones are really concerned. Memory. Changes after 70 aren't just about diagnosing problems. They're about protecting what you already have. Think of it like this. When your eyesight starts to blur, you don't wait until you can't see at all. You go get glasses. Memory health is the same. A good doctor won't jump to conclusions. Instead, they'll ask the right questions. Look at your sleep, your medications, your mood, your nutrition, and help you figure out what's normal, what's not, and what you can actually do to support your brain. Because here's the hopeful part. You are not powerless. There are memory screenings your doctor can do in less than 10 minutes. There are lifestyle changes that strengthen the brain like a muscle. There are even therapies and nutrition plans tailored for cognitive aging that can improve focus, clarity, and mental sharpness. But it all starts with one simple moment saying, "I've noticed a few things and I want to talk about them." And if your doctor brushes you off or says, "Oh, that's just aging," find another one. Your concerns deserve to be taken seriously. You've lived long enough to know your own mind, and when something doesn't feel quite right, it's not silly to speak up. It's smart. Now let's talk about a fourth conversation, one that's deeply personal but often left unsaid. It's about your goals for care, not just today, but in the future. This isn't about giving up. It's about planning for peace of mind. You see, after 70, your care shouldn't be copy-pasted from a chart. It should reflect your values, your wishes, your definition of a good life. For some, that means doing everything possible no matter what. For others, it means choosing quality over quantity. Fewer hospital visits, more time at home, more comfort, less stress. But doctors can't read your mind. They need to hear it from you. What do you want if you ever can't speak for yourself? Who should make decisions on your behalf? What matters most, living longer or living well? These aren't easy questions, but they're courageous ones. And having that talk while you're strong, clear-minded, and confident is the greatest gift you can give your future self and your family. It's not about fear, it's about freedom. The freedom to be heard, to be understood, to live on your terms, not anyone else's. And that conversation? It's not just with your doctor, it's with your loved ones too. Because when the time comes, they'll want to do right by you, and they'll need your guidance to do that. Sometimes the most powerful conversations don't start with a diagnosis, they start with a question. A quiet but honest one, like, what does my health look like if I keep doing what I'm doing? That kind of question might feel scary at first, but asking it opens doors. It gives your doctor a chance to look at the bigger picture. Not just your cholesterol, your knees, or your blood pressure in isolation, but you, as a whole, living, breathing person who still has goals, still has curiosity, still has time. And when your doctor sees you that way, everything starts to shift. You stop being a case and start being a partner. That's what these conversations are really about. Not just listening to instructions, but taking part in your own care. Asking, what's working? What's not? What can I do better that fits my lifestyle, my priorities, my values? You're not in your 30s anymore, and that's not a loss. It's a strength. Because by now, you've learned what really matters. You've weathered storms. You've let go of things that no longer serve you, and that wisdom, it belongs in the exam room too. So if you've been waiting to bring something up, maybe it's a nagging pain or a fear about memory or confusion over medication side effects, please know this. It's not too small. It's not a burden. You're not being dramatic or too sensitive. You are advocating for yourself, and that is one of the most courageous things you can do. The truth is, after 70, your body may whisper before it shouts. It might show signs of imbalance in ways that aren't always obvious. Maybe you've noticed you're waking up more tired, or your digestion has changed. Maybe your mood feels a little flatter than usual, or your energy has dropped off without a clear reason. These little shifts? They matter. They're often the earliest signs of something your doctor can help with if they know. That's why one of the most essential, ongoing conversations with your doctor should sound like this. Can we take a step back and look at my overall well-being? Not just my test results, but how I feel. Because how you feel matters. A lot. Your story, your daily rhythms, your frustrations, your triumphs, that's the context your doctor needs to give you care that fits you. And if something doesn't feel right, it's okay to push back gently, to ask for clarification, to request more time, or a follow-up call, or a second opinion. You are not just a patient. You are a person who deserves to feel heard, respected, and empowered. Now let's talk about something that gets quietly brushed aside far too often: medications. After 70, it's incredibly common to be on a handful of prescriptions. A pill for your blood pressure, one for sleep, maybe something for cholesterol, or your joints. Sometimes they've been added one by one over the years, prescribed by different doctors for different reasons. But here's the thing. Just because you've always taken a medication doesn't mean you still need it. And just because something helps a little doesn't mean it's worth the side effects or interactions that may quietly be stealing your energy, balance, or mood. That's why one of the most important and overlooked conversations to have with your doctor is this. Can we go over all of my medications and talk about what I still need, what might no longer serve me, and whether anything is clashing with something else? It sounds simple, but it can be life-changing. So many older adults live with brain fog, low energy, poor sleep, or even dizziness, and never suspect that the culprit might be lurking right there in the medicine cabinet. When we take multiple medications, especially over time, our bodies change. The way we process those medications shifts. Kidneys slow down a bit, the liver becomes more sensitive, and suddenly, the dosage that was fine 5 years ago is now too much. Or maybe that harmless over-the-counter sleep aid is interfering with your memory. You deserve clarity. You deserve to feel informed, not overwhelmed. And sometimes the best step forward isn't adding another medication, but simplifying, streamlining, adjusting dosages, trying non-medication approaches where appropriate, like lifestyle changes, physical therapy, or nutrition support. That's not to say medication is bad. Many are absolutely life-saving, but they should be reviewed, understood, and reassessed as your body and life evolve. It's also okay to ask about side effects. You may be embarrassed to mention things like constipation, mood swings, sexual health changes, or even just feeling off. These are real, and your doctor can't help fix them if they don't know they exist. No topic is too small. No concern is too strange. And if you feel rushed in your appointment or your doctor seems distracted, you have every right to slow things down. To say, "This is important to me. I'd like to understand this better." Your health is your story, nobody else's, and it's worth telling in full. So whether it's a conversation about whether your meds are still the right ones or a new symptom that's been bothering you, speak up. Ask questions. Get curious. Because peace of mind is powerful, and often a single conversation can lift weeks, sometimes years of silent worry. By now, we've talked about some deeply important conversations, things that can shape the quality of your life, not just the length. But there's one final discussion that so many people avoid, not because it's unimportant, but because it feels uncomfortable. It's the conversation about what you want for your future, your care, your preferences, your boundaries. Now, I know, it's not always easy to bring this up. Nobody wakes up saying, "Today, I want to talk about advanced care planning." But hear me out. This conversation isn't about planning for the end. It's about living your life your way, no matter what the future holds. Because here's the truth. At some point, we all face a moment where someone else may need to make decisions on our behalf, whether it's during surgery, after an accident, or in a serious illness. And when that time comes, it's a true gift for both you and your loved ones, if your wishes are already known. So ask your doctor, "Can we talk about my advance directive or living will?" Let them know what matters most to you. Maybe it's staying in your home for as long as possible. Maybe it's prioritizing comfort over aggressive treatment if you're seriously ill. Maybe it's ensuring your family doesn't have to guess what you would have wanted. These aren't cold medical checkboxes, they're personal choices, human choices, and you have the right to make them. And don't stop there. Talk to your family. Talk to your spouse, your children, your close friends. You don't need to have all the answers, but you do need to be heard. It's not morbid, it's empowering. Because when you take charge of your own story, you ease the burden on others, and you make sure your life continues to reflect your values, even in uncertain moments. And you know what? These conversations often open surprising doors. They lead to laughter, to storytelling, to reminiscing about childhood, about love, about what makes life worth living. They remind you, and everyone around you, that you're not done writing your story. Not even close. So whether you're asking about your medications, checking in on your brain health, making a plan to prevent falls, or sharing your vision for the future, you're doing something remarkable. You're choosing to advocate for yourself, to be seen, heard, and honored, and that's what real strength looks like after 70. Not pretending everything's fine, but speaking up, staying curious, and continuing to shape your life with intention and grace. You are not invisible. You are not done growing. And your health journey doesn't stop. It simply shifts into something wiser, more informed, and more yours. So, if anything in this video resonated with you, I invite you to leave a comment below. What conversations have you had or need to have with your doctor? What advice would you give someone just turning 70 today? Let's build this community together. A place where wisdom is celebrated, courage is shared, and we all keep walking forward, hand in hand, one informed step at a time. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and like it. Subscribe for more honest, hopeful, and helpful health advice made especially for our generation. Because here's to living your best life at any age. You've earned that.